the situations were invaluable for Shedeur, for all of our offense. We got a 3rd and 1 where he had a quarterback sneak. I mean, there's just a lot of football, and that's by design with him getting a ton of reps in this game. Honestly, I'm pleased with the way Shedeur played. I'm pleased with the way the offense operated tonight. All things moving forward as we continue to practice, we'll be focused on all of our guys' development and getting these guys ready to play for the season.
It would be in Kevin Stefanski's best interest if Shedeur Sanders could play well.
The NFL was shocked by Kevin Stefanski's reaction to Shedeur Sanders' preseason debut. Despite Sanders delivering big-time throws and poise beyond his years, Stefanski made it clear the rookie still has a lot of work ahead. That mix of praise and tough love has the league buzzing about what's next for the rising star.
You need to get your special teams work in as well. So there's times when you want to get a kick in when maybe normally you wouldn't. There's times when you go for it, maybe normally you wouldn't, really based on the play and what you need to see from your players in the preseason.
Shedeur Sanders was never supposed to be the guy this early. 4th-string quarterbacks don't usually headline preseason games. They watch from the sideline, maybe get a handful of snaps when the game is already decided. But on August 8th, 2025 in Charlotte, everything flipped. With Kenny Pickett and Dylan Gabriel both nursing hamstring injuries, the Browns had no choice but to hand the offense to a rookie who was supposed to be learning quietly in the background.
He has a really nice touch on the ball. That's probably the thing that I was most impressed with yesterday.
What happened next? He didn't just survive, he owned the moment. Sanders went 14 for 23, threw for 138 yards, hit 2 touchdown passes, and finished with 0 turnovers in his NFL debut. That's not just good for a preseason game, that's statement football.
There's a ton that we need to learn from in this game, and we will. We'll coach off of it, we'll teach off of it, and we will learn from it. So I think I was pleased with how the guys came down here, got their work done in that practice, got the work done in this game, but we got a long way to go, and we're just going to get there by keeping our head down and keep working. But with that, I'll take any questions.
And here's where it gets even more interesting. Kevin Stefanski didn't overhype him. Most coaches in that situation might gush about their rookie, talk about the future, maybe even drop a hint about competition for the starting job. Stefanski, he played it cool. He talked about development, about a lot to clean up, and about staying the course. Almost like he didn't want to let the hype train leave the station too fast. Which begs the question, was he protecting his young quarterback or keeping the rest of the league guessing?
Yeah, pleased with Shedeur, pleased with the offense. Again, not perfect, plenty that we can work on, but I thought the guys did a really nice job of Shedeur and operating, the guys making plays. So again, a ton to teach off of.
Stefanski's plan going into that preseason opener was simple. Keep the playbook vanilla, protect players from injury, and just evaluate who could execute under basic conditions. What he got instead was a quarterback who made the basic plays look polished and the tough plays look easy.
That pressure was coming for him. Like, you could tell, I think, by the way the play was ran, he was really wanting to go to his left, and instead of stepping backward, he stepped to his right and forward to avoid the pass rush. And those were things, I think, going into last night, no one knew if we were going to see him.
Over the course of 9 drives, 45 total snaps, Sanders looked like he belonged. The highlight, 2 touchdown drives to Caden Davis. The first came off a perfectly timed slant that cut through Carolina's secondary. The second was a red zone dart between 2 defenders, a throw that required trust and precision. Neither looked like the work of a quarterback seeing his first NFL defense.
Yeah, we're really just focused on developing our players. We're in evaluation mode. I'm pleased with where the guys are, but I'm not diving into a quarterback competition.
By the time the Browns closed out the 30-10 win, the scoreboard said preseason, but the buzz said something else. The Browns might have more than just a development project in Shedeur Sanders. Yet if you listen to Kevin Stefanski after the game, you wouldn't think his rookie had just outperformed expectations. Instead, you'd hear a coach focused on the long game, on reps, on growth, on keeping the spotlight from burning too hot too soon.
I thought those 2 touchdown passes were really beautiful passes.
That's where the real shock comes in. The league saw a breakout performance. Stefanski saw the next step in a process. And maybe, just maybe, that's the smartest play he could call all season.
The situations were invaluable for Shedeur, for all of our offense. We got a 3rd and 1 where he had a quarterback sneak. I mean, there's just a lot of football, and that's by design with him getting a ton of reps in this game, and he'll get a ton of reps next week as well. That's all part of our development of our young players.
Kevin Stefanski's post-game comments were, let's just say, not what anyone expected after what we'd just seen from Shedeur Sanders. Instead, Stefanski stepped up to the mic and poured a tall glass of caution.
Good. Yeah, I mean, for all of our guys, there's things that we believe in terms of technique and how you do that. And I think it's the young guys in particular, when they're coming from college, they don't have as much work. So I think they're continuing to get better and better.
His first words, never perfect. That's right. After Sanders just gave the Browns one of the most efficient preseason debuts in recent memory, the first label his head coach slapped on it was never perfect. Then he followed with the classic coachism. A lot to clean up.
Need to look at it to see exactly. I know this, it wasn't perfect for any player out there, but I appreciate how those guys compete, and those young players, that's the first time putting the uniform on, first time getting out there in some game action. They've both got a lot of reps in that Wednesday practice as well.
There might even be a little competitive psychology at work here. By not hyping Sanders too much, Stefanski avoids making the other quarterbacks in the room feel like they've already been replaced. Everyone's still in the fight, at least publicly. Behind the scenes, sure, there's evaluation happening, but outwardly, it's business as usual. Now, let's talk about what Sanders did that actually made the NFL raise its eyebrows.
That 74% completion percentage, which led the FBS last year, that wasn't just because he didn't want to throw the ball away or he didn't want to complete a Hail Mary. That is legit accuracy.
First off, his calm. Carolina sent heat at him more than once. Rookie quarterbacks usually get rattled when blitzes start flying, and that's when bad throws happen. Not Sanders. He stood in there, scanned, and if the play wasn't there, he lived to fight another down. Then there were the smart throwaways. Stefanski even mentioned it. No frenetic moments. That's coach speak for he didn't panic and do something dumb. On a few plays, he could have tried forcing the ball into traffic. Instead, he sailed it out of bounds, reset, and moved to the next play.
Shedeur Sanders, he identifies the defense is in man-to-man coverage, so nobody is watching him.
His mobility was another surprise. Yeah, he got sacked twice, but both times he avoided what could have been bigger losses by stepping out of one tackle or cutting upfield to shorten the damage. Those are little details, but in NFL terms, they matter a lot.
Great catches as well, but he put the ball exactly where he needed to put it, and he put it in such a way that the receiver could catch it. He throws an eminently catchable football. He knows when to take a little bit of the heat off of it. He knows when to put a little arc on it.
And here's the thing, Sanders didn't just show up and wing it. He took exactly what he'd been working on in practice, timing throws, pocket movement, decision making, and applied it under live game speed. That's the hardest leap for rookies, and he made it look routine. If you're loving this breakdown of Shedeur's debut and Stefanski's mind games, subscribe to the channel.
It's the way YouTube and content creation should be, and professionalism, and when I black out, but I'm gonna black out.
The NFL isn't shocked just because Shedeur Sanders had a good game. They're shocked because he had a veteran's game. No panic, no reckless throws, no deer in the headlights moments. Just steady, controlled, efficient football. The moment the final whistle blew, you could almost hear the internet fire up. And then came the heavy hitters. Deion Sanders, yeah, primetime himself, didn't waste a second before chiming in.
No, I think we have an expectation for our quarterbacks, Mary Kay, and we have an expectation for our players when they're playing this game in that position to go operate and make good decisions with the football. Our quarterbacks took care of the football, which is no small thing. The guys who touched it had great ball security. Again, zero giveaways is a really big deal, and then the 2 takeaways I thought were excellent.
It wasn't just celebrity hype, though. Analysts were breaking it down frame by frame. Footwork, release point, how quickly Sanders moved through progressions. And the leadership body language? That got its own segment on a couple of NFL talk shows. Shoulders back, helmet high, communicating between plays. Those little things that tell veterans, this guy's not scared.
All right, it would be in his best interest to embrace him if he can play well.
Now, here's where it gets really spicy. NFL insiders started whispering about the depth chart. You know how it goes. One game doesn't make a starter, but when a guy checks this many boxes in his debut, people start asking when, not if, he climbs the ladder. But the NFL doesn't let you live in one great game forever. Next stop, Philadelphia.
You, in theory, have no quarterbacks. It would be in Kevin Stefanski's best interest if Shedeur Sanders could play well.
Stefanski's already confirmed Shedeur is getting significant reps against the Eagles. And before that, the Browns and Eagles will hold joint practices, which means he's going to be staring down one of the most aggressive, veteran-heavy defenses in football before the actual game even kicks off.
Well, I say I'm comfortable being uncomfortable, you know, so that's what it is. You know, I got pockets of finding my rhythm, and I got to get into that quicker regardless of anything, but overall I feel like.
And here's the kicker. Consistency is the real currency in the NFL. Anyone can have a great debut. The league takes notice when you back it up. If Sanders lights it up again, Stefanski might not be able to keep the hype dam from bursting. Which brings us to the big question. Is this the Browns QB future unfolding in front of us? Like this video and don't forget to subscribe to the channel to get more updates.